over 130,000 homes destroyed, a further 85,000 damaged. The earthquake at the end of April hit 30 of the country's 75 districts, leaving victims in densely populated towns like Kathmandu and Pokhara, as well as in rural and remote areas. MSF teams were deployed rapidly in the country. The organisation now has 120 staff working in the field, mostly in Gorka district, the earthquake's epicentre.
Les petits villages de la montagne qui ont été détruits, ou même des villes plus importantes, sont extrêmement difficiles d'accès. Certains, c'est uniquement par hélicoptère. D'autres, il faut marcher pendant 7 heures avant de pouvoir les joindre. Donc, avec le ministère de la Santé, on a plutôt décidé d'aller voir en périphérie et pas dans la grosse ville, là où on pourrait apporter notre aide.
The teams managed to reach 15 of Gorka's villages in 3 days and have also started delivering treatment in neighbouring district Darding.
The only way to move now is by helicopter, and there is no communication, so basically we just have to go from village to village and depend on word of mouth and do an assessment basically to see what the problems are. Normally that's easy, but in this environment and in the conditions it can take a long time and difficult. The injuries in this village is minor, but there are many common health problems, TB, infections, small cuts and wounds, general things that normally is no problem, but is become and can be a problem in remote areas like this.
Shelters and essential items are needed the most urgently, especially in high-altitude villages where temperatures fall below zero at night. MSF teams have begun distributing food, blankets and shelters, but logistical difficulties are still preventing them from reaching out to the most remote villages. A 20-bed inflatable hospital has been transported to Arugat in Gorka district. While some of the team put it up, the medical staff have helped out at Baktapur Hospital on the outskirts of the capital.
Welcome.
Ready at last, Arugat Hospital admitted its first patients on May the 8th.
L'idée, c'est d'intégrer la structure sanitaire du ministère de Santé ici. La consultation se fera à leur niveau et nous recevrons en hospitalisation que les patients qui sont sévères.
Most of the injured in Kathmandu who were wounded during the earthquake received treatment quickly. Medical needs now mainly concern maternity services and injured patients requiring follow-up surgery or physiotherapy. After numerous aftershocks, on May the 12th, a second 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit Nepal. Its epicenter was in China, less than 100 kilometers from Kathmandu. An MSF team went to the affected area and evacuated several of the injured. Every day here in this tent, an MSF psychologist reaches out to the refugees. Subjected to horrific attacks, they have lost friends and family members, and since leaving Nigeria, haven't had enough to eat. Incapable of putting into words what they've been through, some can't sleep, while others suffer from unexplained physical pain.
Beaucoup de leurs proches sont tombés dans l'eau. D'autres ont survécu, d'autres ont été hachés à coups de machette, d'autres ont été fusillés, d'autres, etc., etc. Donc, tous ces vécus finissent par se théâtraliser sur le corps des patients qui ne trouvent pas l'expression verbale ou mentale de ces vécus.
This woman was forced to flee when Boko Haram reached her village. During her escape, she lost several members of her family.
We saw our relatives being massacred by Boko Haram. We were in a state of shock.
What's worrying her most is how to feed her 7 children. To get by, she's already had to sell her mat and the blanket given to her by an aid agency. "22 countries have shores bordering the Mediterranean, providing various routes across the sea. To the south and the east are the countries people are fleeing or pass through to escape war, poverty and human rights violations. To the north lies their destination, Europe. It's estimated that 20,000 people have lost their lives crossing the Mediterranean in the past 15 years. Who are the people forced into exodus? In the first months of 2015, most were Syrian, Eritrean, Somali or Afghan. As soon as new barriers go up, the migrants change routes. The most common are Morocco to Spain via the enclaves of Ceuta and Melilla, Tunisia and Libya to southern Italy, and Turkey to Bulgaria or Greece. Reinforced borders around the Spanish enclaves and the security fence erected in Bulgaria haven't deterred those wanting to leave. They just seek out alternative routes. The one linking Tunisia and Libya to Sicily is currently the most practicable, but also the most deadly. Estimates indicate that in 2014, 3,500 people drowned during the crossing. More than 1,750 have perished since the beginning of 2015. In October 2013, a boat transporting 500 migrants sank, and Italy launched rescue Operation Mare Nostrum, saving over 150,000 lives in a single year. But in October 2014, the Italian operation became European, changed its name and its remit. While Mare Nostrum ships used to patrol close to the Libyan coastline searching for and rescuing migrants in distress, the new operation, Triton, is designed above all to protect Europe. Its ships don't venture very far from shore, and the budget has been reduced by 2/3. The Italian Coast Guard also helps to save migrants, as do privately owned ships, which are obliged under international law to assist anyone in distress. But trawlers and huge merchant navy cargo ships are not equipped to pick up dozens of migrants on small, overcrowded boats. Faced with such tragedy, leaders of European Union countries often justify this policy of inaction, arguing that increasing the rescue operation will encourage more migrants to attempt the journey. But the figures prove the opposite. In January 2014, while Mare Nostrum ships roamed the sea, Italy saw nearly 2,100 migrants arrive on its shores. 12 months later, when the operation had been abandoned, they were close to 3,500. The trend was much the same between February 2014 and February 2015. At the beginning of May, MSF sent medical teams aboard 2 ships, each equipped for several hundred people. Less than 24 hours after the first ship took to sea, 369 people were rescued and taken to Italy.